You want to read or shall I read?
You read.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्राये भद्रे नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवदुत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 16, from verse number 34. Chitraketu said, O unconquerable Lord, although you cannot be conquered by anyone, you are certainly conquered by devotees who have control of the mind and senses. They can keep you under their control because you are causelessly merciful to devotees who desire no material profit from you. Indeed, you give yourself to them, and because of this, you also have full control over your devotees. My dear Lord, this cosmic manifestation and its creation, maintenance, and annihilation are all but your opulences. Since Lord Brahma and the other creators are nothing but small portions of a portion of you, their partial power to create does not make them God, Ishvara. Their consciousness of themselves as separate lords is therefore merely false prestige. It is not valid. You exist in the beginning, middle, and end of everything. From the most minute particle of the cosmic manifestation, the atom, to the gigantic universes and total material energy. Nonetheless, you are eternal, having no beginning or end or middle. You are perceived to exist in these three phases, and thus you are permanent. When the cosmic manifestation does not exist, you exist as the original potency. Every universe is covered by seven layers: earth, water, fire, air, sky, and the total energy, and the false ego, each 10 times greater than the previous one. There are innumerable universes besides this one, and although they are unlimitedly large, they move about like atoms in you. Therefore, you are called unlimited, Ananta. O Lord, O Supreme, unintelligent persons who thirst for sense enjoyment and who worship various demigods are not better than animals in the human form of life. Because of their animalistic propensities, they fail to worship your lordship, and instead they worship the insignificant demigods who are but small sparks of your glory. With the destruction of the entire universe, including the demigods, the benedictions received from the demigods also vanish, just like the nobility when a king is no longer in power. O Supreme Lord, if persons obsessed with material desires for sense gratification through material opulence worship you, who are the source of all knowledge and are transcendental to material qualities, they are not subject to material rebirth, just as sterilized or fried seeds do not produce plants. Living entities are subjected to the repetition of birth and death because they are conditioned by material nature, but since you are transcendental, one who is inclined to associate with you in transcendence escapes the conditions of material nature. O unconquerable one, when you spoke about Bhagavad Dharma, which is the uncontaminated religious system for achieving the shelter of your lotus feet, that was your victory. Persons who have no material desires, like the Kumaras, who are self satisfied sages, worship you to be liberated from material contamination. In other words, they accept the process of Bhagavad Dharma to achieve shelter at your lotus feet. Being full of contradictions, all forms of religion but Bhagavad Dharma work under conceptions of fruitive results and distinctions of you and I and yours and mine. The followers of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam have no such consciousness. They are all Krishna conscious, thinking that they are Krishna's and Krishna is theirs. There are other low class religious systems which are contemplated for the killing of enemies or the gain of mystic power, but such religious systems, being full of passion and envy, are impure and temporary. Because they are full of envy, they are full of irreligion. How can a religious system that produces envy of one's self and of the others be beneficial for oneself and for them? What is auspicious about following such a system? What is actually to be gained by causing pain to one's own self due to self envy, and by causing pain to others? One arouses your anger and practices irreligion. My dear Lord, one's occupational duty is instructed in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Dharma, Bhagavad Gita according to your point of view, which never deviates from the highest goal of life. Those who follow their occupational duties under your supervision, being equal to all living entities, moving and non moving, and not considering high and low, are called Aryans. Such Aryans worship you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. My Lord, it is not impossible for one to be immediately freed from all mental contamination by seeing you, not to speak of seeing you personally, merely by hearing the holy name of your Lordship only once. Even Chandalas, men of the lowest class, are freed from all material contamination. Under the circumstances, who will not be freed from mental contamination simply by seeing you? Therefore, my dear Lord, simply seeing you has now wiped away all the contamination of sinful activities and the results of metal attachment and lusty desires, which always filled my mind and the core of my heart. Whatever is predicted by the great sage Narada Muni cannot be otherwise. In other words, I have obtained your audience as a result of being trained by Narada Muni. O unlimited supreme personality of Godhead, whatever a living entity does in this material world is well known to you because you are the super soul. In the presence of the sun, there is nothing to be revealed by the light of a glowworm. Similarly, because you know everything, in your presence there is nothing for me to make known. My dear Lord, you are the creator, maintainer, and annihilator of this cosmic manifestation. But persons who are too materialistic and who always see separateness do not have eyes with which to see you. They cannot understand your real position, and therefore they conclude that the cosmic manifestation is independent of your opulence. My Lord, you are the supreme person and you are full in all six opulences. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. My dear Lord, it is after you endeavor that Lord Brahma, Indra, and other directors of the cosmic manifestation become occupied with their activities. It is after you perceive the material energy, my Lord, that the senses begin to perceive. The Supreme Personality of Godhead holds all the universes on his heads like seeds of mustard. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, that Supreme Personality who has thousands of hoods. Shukadeva Goswami continued. The Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ananta Deva, being very much pleased with the prayers offered by Chitraketu, the king of Vidyadharas, replied to him as follows: O best of the Kuru dynasty, Maharaja Parikshit, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Anantadev, replied as follows: O King, as a result of your having accepted the instructions spoken about me by the great sages Narada and Angira, you have become completely aware of transcendental knowledge. Because you are now educated in the spiritual science, you have seen me face to face. Therefore, you are now completely perfect. All living entities, moving and non moving, are my expressions and are separate from me. I am the super soul of all living beings. who exist because I manifest them. I am the form of the transcendental vibrations like Omkara and Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, and I am the supreme absolute truth. These two forms of mind, namely the transcendental sound and the eternally blissful spiritual form of the deity, are my eternal forms. They are not material. In this in this world of matter, which the conditioned soul accepts as consisting of enjoyable resources, the conditioned soul expands, thinking that he is the enjoyer of the material world. Similarly, the material world expands in the living entity as a source of enjoyment. In this way, they both expand. But because they are my energies, they are both pervaded by me. As the Supreme Lord, I am the cause of these effects, and one should know that both of them rest in me. When a person is in deep sleep, he dreams and sees in himself many other objects, such as great mountains and rivers, or perhaps even the entire universe, although they are far away. Sometimes, when one awakens from a dream, he sees that he is in a human form, lying in his bed in one place. Then he sees himself in terms of various conditions as belonging to a particular nationality, family, and so on. All the conditions of deep sleep, dreaming, and wakefulness, but energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should always remember the original creator of these conditions, the Supreme Lord, who is unaffected by them. Know me to be the Supreme Brahman, the all pervading Super Soul through whom the sleeping living entity can understand his dreaming condition and his happiness beyond the activities of the mental senses. That is to say, I am the cause of the activities of the living being. If one's dreams during sleep are merely subject matters witnessed by the supersoul, how can the living entity who is different from the supersoul remember the activities of the dreams? The experiences of one person cannot be understood by another. Therefore, the knower of the facts, the living entity who inquires into the incidents manifested in dreams and wakefulness, is different from the circumstantial activities. That knowing factor is Brahman. In other words, the quality of knowing belongs to the living entities and to the super soul. Thus, the living entity can also experience the activities of dreams and wakefulness. In both stages, the knower is unchanged but is qualitatively one with the Supreme Brahman. When a living entity, thinking himself different from me, forgets his spiritual identity of qualitative oneness with me in eternity, knowledge, and bliss, his material conditional life begins. In other words, instead of identifying his interest with mine, he becomes interested in his bodily expansions like his wife, children, and material possessions. In this way, by the influence of his activities, one body comes from another, and after one death, another death takes place. A human being can attain perfection in life by self realization through the Vedic literature and its practical application. This is possible especially for a human being born in India, the land of piety. A man who obtains birth in such a convenient position but does not understand his self is unable to achieve the highest perfection, even if he is exalted to life in the higher planetary systems. Remembering the great trouble found in the field of activities performed for future results, and remembering how one receives the reverse of the results one desires, whether from material actions or from the future activities recommended in the Vedic literatures. An intelligent man should cease from the desire for future activities actions, for by such endeavors one cannot achieve the ultimate goal of life. On the other hand, if one acts without desires for future results, in other words, if one engages in devotional service, he can achieve the highest goal of life with freedom from miserable conditions. Considering this, one should cease from material desires. As husband and wife, A man and woman plan together to attain happiness and decrease unhappiness, working jointly in many ways. But because their activities are full of desires, these activities are never a source of happiness and they never diminish distress. On the contrary, they are cause of great unhappiness. One should understand that the activities of persons who are proud of their material experience bring only results contradictory to those such persons conceive while awake, sleeping, and deeply sleeping. One should further understand that the spirit soul, although very difficult for the materialist to perceive, is above all these conditions, and by the strength of one's discrimination, one should give up the desire for fruitive results in the present life and in the next. Thus, becoming experienced in transcendental knowledge, one should become my devotee. Persons who try to reach the ultimate goal of life must expertly observe the absolute, supreme absolute person and the living entity who are one in quality in their relationship as part and whole. This is the ultimate understanding of life. There is no better truth than this. O King, if you accept this conclusion of mine, being unattached to material enjoyment, adhering to me with great faith, and thus becoming proficient and fully aware of knowledge and its practical application in life, you will achieve the highest perfection by attaining me. Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued, after thus instructing Chitraketu and assuring him of perfection in this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Supreme Spiritual Master, the Supreme Soul, Sankarshana, disappeared from the place as Chitraketu looked on. Hare Krishna. So we are in the last chapters of the sixth canto, which is dealing with the mystery behind Vritrasura's greatness. Then Indra felt uh, mm, scared or afraid of losing his position. He arranged um, he arranged the ways through which he can subdue Vritrasura, though it was a big, huge task that a special weapon had to be weapon had to be made from the bones of Tvesta, and through that bones, this weapon which is made through that thunderbolt weapon is through which um Vritrasura can be killed. And after killing, then there was this question: how can be that such a one who is coming in the demon life is so powerful, and not just powerful, he is so enlightened. So he is already speaking the words of wisdom, and that even Indra was surprised, and Indra felt ashamed. Oh, did I have to kill him? So, and then um when Parikshit Maharaj was asked by when Shukadeva Goswami was asked by Parikshit Maharaj, then he's telling all this. There is this king called Chitraketu and this life where he had no sons. Later, by the blessings of sage Angira, uh, he begot a child in his dear wife, in Kritadhyuti, and his name is Harsha Shoka. And as the name, uh, so is the sun, the one who caused the pleasure, the jubilation in not only the family of the king Chitraketu, but also he was the happiness for the whole kingdom, except the queens, the other queens or the co-wives of Kritadhyuti. And because of that, they have poisoned the child. The poison was lying dead, and the time came when this was unbearable for the king. He felt like that he lost the entire world, and then there was this other wives. Yeah, they felt unbearable, and at the time this sages Narada Muni, Angira Rishi, they both come. They come and um, speak these important words and say him that he should attain perfection by serving, by taking up to the mantra that Narada Muni gives, and with great devotion and dedication. Just in a span of a week, he already Chitraketu attains Vidyadhara Loka, becomes the king of that, and later by worshipping, he attains the darshan of Lord in the form of Sankarshana, and Lord is glorifying Chitraketu and also at the same time instructing what one should do as a living being, and that's what we are reading here in this 16th chapter of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Stuti is already here. Yeah. So we can see the mercy of Narada Muni is the cause of Chitraketu's success. In fact, Chitraketu's prayers to the Lord, yeah, he said, "You and your devotees conquer each other." So very quickly, let me cover the Sanskrit. So, Chitraketuruvacha Ajita samahmatibihi sadhubhirbhavan jitamabhirbhavata vijisastepi cha bhajatam akamatmanam ya atmadodri karunaha. So, yeah, Chitraketu said, "Oh Lord, although you cannot be conquered by anyone, you are certainly conquered by devotees." So this is there, the nature. Ajita Jita means we know Lord is unconquerable, but Lord can be. There is always, yeah, we know that Lord can be conquered by his devotees who have control of mind and senses. Hmm. They can keep you under their control because you are causelessly merciful to devotees who desire no material profits from you. Indeed, you give yourself to them because of this, you also have full control over your devotees. This is what it means. Very, very special. Lord is controlled by devotees. Because of that, Lord controls the devotees. What is that? Yeah, because Lord is purchased by only one, which is bhakti, one with no material motivations. Yeah, and then here he says that false lordship of others. He is saying Taba vibhava khalu Bhagavan Jagad Udaya Sthiti Layadini Vishwasrajaste Amsham Tatra Mrisha Spardanti Pratak Abhimatya. So, this cosmic manifestation and its creation, maintenance, and annihilation are all but your opulences. So, in this way, yeah, though we may see that as Guna Avatar, Lord Shiva is annihilating, as Lord Brahma is creating all these things, but the main everything is because of you. And why? Because you are the Parameshwara, not partial Ishvara. Their consciousness of you themselves as separate lords is therefore merely false prestige. Even if they would consider sometimes exhibit that, it is only merely a, false out of false prestige. Paramanu paramah mahatas tvam adya antantara vartitraya viduraha adav ante picha sattvanam yadhruvam tan evan Taralepi. You exist in beginning. You exist in the beginning, middle, and end of everything from the atom to the universes. Yet you are eternal having no beginning, end, or middle. You are steady as the cause of all effects. Sattva Nam. In these three phases, and thus you are permanent. Dhruvam. Dhruvam means permanent. Dhruva is permanent. And then goes शित्यादिभिर्येष किलावृतः सप्तभिर्दशगुणोत्तरैरण्डकोशः यत्र पतति अणुकल्पः सहाण्डाकोटिकोटिभिस्तदनन्तद् अनन्तः. Everything is coming from you. Everything is, what is it called? Many more times thicker and bigger. Therefore, you are called unlimited, Ananta. विषयत्रशो नरः पशवो यः उपासते विभूतिर्न परं त्वां तेषाम् आशिषा ईशा तदनु विनश्यन्ति यथा राजकुलम्. So the benefits of worshipping demigods are temporary. So animal like men thirsty for sense gratification. Very, very important. How to become Paramahamsas, how to develop the mood of Paramahamsa means one is not interested to enjoy in the material world. So, people, normal, common men, because of their animalistic propensities, they fail to worship your Lordship. Yeah, so some people are not interested in worshipping the Supreme Lord. Even Krishna himself is coming. Krishna himself is directing. Krishna is telling the ways. Krishna is showing the path. Krishna is helping out with all arrangements. Still, one would, out of his fear, out of his desire, is worshipping demigods. With the destruction of the entire universe, including the demigods, the benedictions received from the demigods also vanish, just like the nobility of a king is no longer in power. This is very nice. Oh my, the Lord is saying that just like a person who is very noble as a ruler, yeah, he is very noble and everything. When a king is no longer in power, just like the nobility is lost when he is no more in power, then he thinks, hey, I don't have to be loyal. I don't have to because I'm not in power. So, so all the benefits one may get from the devatas will be gone. Kama diyastvai rachita na parama rohanti yata karamba bijani jnanatmani agunamayi gunaganatosya dvandva jalani. Huh? He's saying, even motivated worship to you destroys samsara. It is said that you are transcendental. One who is inclined to associate with you in transcendence escapes the conditions of material nature. This is the secret. Yeah, in the seventh canto, in the first chapter, we are going to cover how Lord favors everyone. But in the end of the chapter, this is the conclusion. It's not that, okay, now I can deal with the Lord in unfavorable way. It is said that no, to escape the conditions of material nature, yeah, permanently, not temporarily. The secret is to approach Lord directly. जितमजितः तदा भवता यदाह भागवतं धर्म अनवद्यं निष्किञ्चनाये मुनय आत्मा राम यम उपासते अपवर्गाय. It said this Bhagavad Dharma is very, very powerful. When you, O conquerable one, when you spoke about Bhagavad Dharma, which is the unconditioned religious system for achieving the shelter of your lotus feet, that was your victory. So the Lord, we can understand how difficult it is to preach to people who are not interested in bhakti. They have their own interest, but to establish Bhagavad Dharma so that people can take it and follow, that is a big victory. Uh, which means people are not in so much interested, but still uh, without getting un unmotivate without affecting your motivation to create something for us. you have attained victory. Persons who have no material desires like the Kumaras worship you to be liberated from material contamination. In other words, they accept the process of Bhagavad Dharma. Vishama matir na yatra nanam त्वमहम् इति मम तवेति च यद् अन्यत्र विषमधिया रचितो यः स हि अविशुद्धक्षयिष्णुरधर्मबहुलः. The sense of you and I, your and mine, all these things are the results of the conception, the metal struggle. All these things are contradiction to Bhagavad Dharma. One who follows Bhagavad Dharma have no such discrimination. They are all Krishna conscious and they are Krishna's and Krishna is theirs. There are other low-class religious systems which are contemplated for the killing of enemies or the gain of mystic power, but such religious system being full of passion and envy are impure and temporary. So one should not take shelter. Kah kshemo nijaparayo kiyanvarta swapara dhruva dharmena swadoha droha tava kopaha para sampidaya cha tatha dharmaha. Uh, so in this way, envy producing religious benefits no one. Uh, what is actually to be gained by causing pain to one's own self due to self envy, and by causing pain to others, there is no benefit. न व्यभिचारति तवेक्षा यया हि अभिहितो भागवतो धर्मः स्थिरचरस्तव स्थिरचरसत्त्वकदम्बेष्व अपृथक् धियो यम् उपासते त्व आर्याः. My dear Lord, one's occupational duty is instructed in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and Bhagavad Gita according to your point of view. So Chitraketu is praising, after all, the purpose of the scriptures are to reach you, not to create our own comfort zones, taking the shelter of the scriptures for our benefits. No, those who follow their occupational duties under your supervision uh, are called Aryans. Mm. So then comes न हि भगवन् अघटितम् इदं त्वद्दर्शनानृणाम् अखिलपापक्षयः यन्नाम श्रवणात् उक्कशोऽपि विमुच्यति संसारात्. My Lord, it's not impossible for one to be immediately free from all material contamination. So, for devotees, it is always easy. It is not impossible for one to be immediately free from all metal contamination if we understand what is the key, what is the secret. The secret is to become devotee. Hmm. And how can one can become yen nama sakrit? By seeing your, by even taking to your holy name, by hearing your holy name only once. Even chandalas are freed from all material contamination. Hmm. And you have got this mantra from a great devotee like Narada Muni. Atha Bhagavan Vayam Aduna Tvad Avo Avaloka Parimrishta Malaha Sura Rishina Yat Rathitam Tavakena Katam Anyata Bhavati. Therefore, my dear Lord, simply seeing you has now wiped away all the contamination of sinful activities. Whatever is predicted by the great sage Narad Muni cannot be otherwise. In other words, I have obtained your audience as a result of being trained by Narad Muni. Viditam ananta sammastam tava jagadatmano janer ihacharitam vigna vignapyam param guroho kiyad iva savitur iva khadyotahi. Just like in the presence of sun, where is that? In the presence of sun, there is nothing to be revealed by the light of a glowworm. Similarly, because you know everything, in your presence, there is nothing for me to make known. So this is what happens. Sometimes, na, I mean, our childish mentality or innocence is that we want to prepare ourselves what to ask the Lord. Then suddenly, maybe for whatever reason, if the Lord may appear, what is my wish list? Here, Chitraketu is saying, in I am a small thing to be known, yeah, and you know everything in front of you. Whatever me to be revealed, you already know it, so I don't have to tell anything. नमस्तुभ्यं भगवते सकलजगत्स्थितिलयोदयेशाय दूरवसितात्मगतये कुयोगिनां बित बिदा परमहंसाय. O Lord, you are the supreme, pure, and you are full in all six opulences. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances to you. Uh, Here it is said, your position can be understood only by the devotees. Yam vai svasantam anuvishvasrajasvajanti yam chekitanam anuchitta ucca anuchittaya uccakanti bhumandalam sarpapayati yasya modni tasmai namo bhagavate stu sahasramudne. Huh? The one who had thousands of foods, I offer my obeisances. Huh? Even it is after you endeavor that Lord Brahma, Indra, and other directors of cosmic manifestation become occupied with their activities. So, if uh, you are the Lord of such a great, hmm, unlimited potency that everything, no one can just do whatever they want. Uh, Even great devotees and great demigods, all they are directed by you. In that way, you are the supreme director. And in fact, it is said, "My Lord, that the senses begin to perceive, and the supreme Lord holds all the universes on his hoods, so on his heads, like seeds of mustard." So everything is resting. It's not like we are struggling to maintain a small country, a small city, even a small home. The Lord controls everything on the tip of all unlimited hoods that He has. Shri Sukha Uvacha Samstuto Bhagavan Evam Anantastava Abhashata Vidyadhara Patim Pristam Pritaha Chitraketum Kurudvaha. Shukadeva Goswami continued. The Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Anantadeva, being very much pleased with the prayers offered by Chitraketu, the king of Vidyadharas, replied as follows. Shri Bhaganuvacha Yannāradāngirobhyam te vyahritam me anushasanam samsiddhosi taya rajan vidyaya darshanascha me. Now the Lord is saying, oh, by the mercy of instructions given by Angira and Narada, you have become completely aware of transcendental knowledge. Because you are now educated in spiritual science, you have seen me face to face. So, if one of us or all of us should have such a nice desire to see the Lord face to face, but the way is not by our own endeavor, but accepting a guru. A guru can take us to that path and show us, opening our light. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. मूकं करोति वाचलं पङ्गुर्लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपाहं तमहं वन्दे दीनतारिणम्. So, Guru helps, even we are incapable, even if we are unqualified, even if we are not able, no capability, no qualification, nothing but Guru can enable. Even a person who is dumb can speak. A person who is layman, yeah, he can walk. अहं वै सर्वभूतानि भूतात्मा भूतभावनः शब्दब्रह्म परं ब्रह्म ममोभे शाश्वती तनु. Is saying that one who takes to the form various vibrations like Omkara and Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, and I am the absolute truth. These two forms of mind, namely the sound vibration, the transcendental sound, and eternally blissful spiritual form of the deity, are my eternal forms. They are not material. So, one who can worship the Lord in the temple as Archa Murti, and one who is chanting, one should know that they are not material things. They are my direct expansions or myself. लोके विततमात्मानं लोकं चात्मनि सन्ततम् उभयं च मया व्याप्तं मयि चैवोभयं कृतम्. In this world of matter, which the conditioned soul accepts as consisting of enjoyable resources, the conditioned soul expands, thinking that he is the enjoyer of the material world. Similarly, the material world expands in the living entity as a source of enjoyment. In this way, they both expand, but because they are my energies, they are both pervaded by me. Hmm. So, so there is this three states: Jagarti, awakeness, Swapna, Sushupti. Sushupti, Swapna. Sushupti is in a dreaming state, and sorry, Swapna is in dreaming state. Sushupti is in deep sleep state. Are but energies of the Supreme Lord. One should therefore remember the Lord is the original creator of all these states. In fact, in the verse, sorry, yatha shushuptah purusho vishvam pasyati chatmani atmanam ekadeshastam मन्यते स्वप्न उत्थितः एवं एवं जागरणादीनि जीवस्थानानि चात्मनः मायामात्राणि विज्ञाय तद्दर्ष्टारं परं स्मरेत्. Hmm. So one should always remember the original creator of these conditions, who is the Lord. Usually we are carried away with nice dreams, we are carried away with all hopes, all these things, but everything is resting because everything is created from the Lord. येन प्रक्षुब्धः पुरुषः स्वापं वेदात्मनस्तदा सुखं च निर्गुणं ब्रह्म तदात्मानम् एव हि माम् अवेहि माम्. Know me to the Supreme Brahman. Hmm. So, in that way, even if one is in this sleeping act, through whom the sleeping living entity can understand his dreaming condition. Uh, so, Lord as Paramatma is inside us. We may be sleeping, but Lord doesn't sleep. Can you see? Uh, Lord is always still witnessing even by your sleeping. That it is to say, I am the cause of activities of the sleeping living being. Hmm. उभयं स्मरतः पुंसः प्रस्वाप प्रतिबोधयः अन्वेति व्यतिरिच्येत तज्ज्ञानं ब्रह्म तत्परम्. If one dreams during sleep, or merely subject matters witnessed by super soul, how can the living entity who is different from the super soul remember the activities of dreams? Uh, so we should understand that the knower of both, the living entity is the Brahman in quality and is a part of the Lord. Thus, both the living entity and Lord are knowers of the activities of dreams and awakefulness of oneself. But Lord knows more. Lord can remember our previous lives, uh, so which is not the case in us. So, for us, what happens is when we are migrating from one body to the other body, then we are forgetting. Yeah, I remember last year in the Bhagavat Saptah in the first class where we were discussing about the 26 Narakas, hell. At that time, Srishti asked a question: Why should we human should forget the Lord, or one should why we forget everything? In when we take birth. Hmm? Yeah, the thing is that here it is said, if one's dreams during sleep are merely subject matter witnessed by the super soul, how can the living entity remember the activities of dreams? The experiences of one person cannot be understood by another. Therefore, the knower of the facts, the living entity who inquires into the incidents manifested in dreams and wakefulness, is different from the circumstantial activities. So, In other words, the quality of knowing belongs to the living entities. So it is the living entity is able to know what happened in the sleep, in a dream, uh, what has happened. Similarly, the super soul knows us. We are in a dream, and uh, that Lord knows everything about what happened before this dreamful life, current dreamful life, and next dreamful life. Thus, the living entity can also experience the activities of dreams and wakefulness. In both stages, the knower is unchanged but is qualitatively one with the Supreme Brahman. Just like how we can perceive, the super soul also perceives us everything. Then the secret of this is Yadad Vishramtam yeah, sorry. Yat etam vishratam pumso madbhavam bhinnam atmanah tata samsara etasya deha deho mritir mritihi. So this is the secret. The freedom through bhakti is in this way, by the influence of his actions, one becomes body comes from another, and after one death, another death take place. But the secret is one who takes to this, forgets his spiritual identity, has to suffer like this. Rather, if one remembers the Lord, then there is no problem. Labdve hammanushim yonim jnana vijnana sambhavam atmanam yona buddhyeta na kvachit kshemam apnuyat. Uh, a man who obtained birth in such a convenient position but does not understand his self is unable to achieve the highest perfection. Even if we have the best possibility, in fact, it is written here in the translation. This is a human form is the perfection of life. In perfection in life by can obtain perfection in life by self-realization, and that too born in a very nice land like India. It's mentioned high human being born in India, the land of piety. A man who obtains such birth but who is not thinking for his best, uh, 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 one should think, one should not misuse such an opportunity and get carried away by Western way of living, by open culture, by advanced uh, um, dangers, I would say, yeah. So rather, one should be very careful by not misusing the human form of life, and then only one can get freedom. Smritvehayam pariklesham tatah phala viparyayam abhayam chapi anihayam sankalpad viramet kavihi. A kavi means intelligent person. A person is considered to be intelligent, that if he is remembering the great miseries in the fruitive activities, which brings results opposite to their desires. So, intelligent person is one who understands that whatever material things I am doing for happiness, that is only going to cause me pain and suffering. Such a person is considered kavihi, to be intelligent. हाँ सुखाय दुःखाय मोक्षाय कुर्वाते दंपती क्रियाः ततो निवृत्तिर अप्राप्तिर दुःखस्याम च सुखस्य च. So, whatever a family, wife and husband may think, by working together, by uh, appreciating each other for material flourishment, so that all the material desires can be fulfilled, they are cheating each other. This is what it says. A husband and wife, a man and woman plan together to attain happiness and decrease unhappiness. Of course, that is the goal, but what happens, they are working jointly in many ways, but because their activities are full of desires, these activities are never a source of happiness, and they never diminish distress, this both, and they cause unhappiness. So, so one should become a devotee. Evam, evam viprayam buddhya nunam vigna bhimaninam atmanascha gatim sukshmam sthana traya vilakshanam दृष्टा श्रुताभिर्मात्राभिः निर्मुक्तः स्वेन तेजसा ज्ञानविज्ञान संतृप्तो मद भक्तः पुरुषो भवेत्. This is the ultimate. It is said only devotees attain. Thus, becoming experienced in transcendental knowledge, one should become my devotee. Lord is saying how by understanding that karma produces opposite results, and the knowing that self-realization is beyond the wakefulness, dream, and sleep, deep sleep state. Freeing oneself. I don't know if Adi Rasuprabhu is there. He can refer to the purport of this chapter 61, 62. It's mentioned. Freeing oneself from the sense objects seen and heard by one's discrimination, being satisfied with Vedic knowledge and practical application, one can become free. एतावान् एव मनुजैर् योगा नैपुण्य बुद्धिभिः स्वार्थ सर्वात्मना ज्ञेयो यत्परात्मैक दर्शनम्. What is ultimate paradarshanam? This is the ultimate understanding of life. There is no better truth than this. This is what the Lord Himself is telling. What is that? Persons who try to reach the ultimate goal of life must expertly observe the supreme absolute person and the living entity who are one in quality in their relationship as part and whole. Hmm? So, tvam etat श्रद्धया राजन् अप्रमत्तो वचो मम ज्ञान संपन्नो धारयन् आसु सिद्ध्यसि. He said, "O king, if you accept this conclusion of mine, being unattached to material enjoyment, adhering to me with great faith, and thus becoming proficient and fully aware of knowledge and its practical application in life, you will achieve the highest perfection by attaining me." Shri Sukha Uvacha आश्वास्य भगवान् इत्थं चित्रकेतुं जगद्गुरुः पश्यतस्तस्य विश्वात्मा ततश्चान्तरा हरिः. So in this way, Chitraketu was instructed by the Lord directly. And after thus instructing Chitraketu and assuring him of perfection in this way, the Lord disappeared from that place as Chitraketu looked on. So in this way, we can see that Chitraketu, in this way, he was blessed as a Vidyadhara and as a devotee. He attained the best thing, having attained the instruction from his guru, having followed that, having the darshan of Sankarshana and instructions from Sankarshana. What else he needs? In fact, we see in this 17th chapter, the next chapter, Chitraketu uh, uh, should be all successful, right? He should also become like a Narad Muni by traveling, singing the glories of the Lord, and always be enlightened. But there are some um, uh, plans of the Lord, and that's why he finally does something to end up appearing in as a demon like Vritrasura. We will cover that 17th chapter. I'm just thinking, should we cover that tomorrow or next week? Let's see. Yeah. Any questions? Anything someone want to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you yeah, for the class. Um, um, yeah, for today's class, I was relating with karma a bit and like with what happened in Mahabharat. And yeah, my question is basically
Mm-hmm.
with karma yoga, basically. Means someone also asked me recently this question when I was talking with them. Like
Mm-hmm.
for karma yoga, how without having the target of result or yeah, So how to work? Like what I knew, what I asked you earlier, and it is a duty. One should think karma just as duty and do the duty assigned to us without having, yeah, um, intention to enjoy anything or enjoy it in devotional point of view.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was not able to answer still properly, and I wasn't convinced while transferring, saying this to someone else. So
Mm-hmm.
the question is again like without a target of a result, without yeah having that result in perspective, how can someone work?
Mm.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we are not saying we don't have any goal. We don't have any desire. Our desire and goal are both spiritual goals. Yeah. So we are not, there is something, yeah. Yeah. For example, you are very, you cannot see kids suffering, let's say like that. And out of that, what you're doing is you think, hey, I want to help them out. uh, and for that, you have created maybe an organization, a trust or something, etc. All these are details. What is the reason that you are doing all this work? What is the main goal that you want to attain by all these facilities? You
Reduce
want to
suffering.
take, yeah. So there is a goal. It's not that there is no desire, there is no objective. In devotee's life also, it's not that there is no goal. The goal is Supreme Lord and His pleasure is everything. Yeah. So that's what it means. A desire, spiritual desires can liberate us. Spiritual desires will illuminate us. Spiritual desires will enlighten us, which is not the case with any other desires. Yeah. And coming back, karma yoga, as you said, karma yoga itself means what? To be unaffected by unwanted things, right? How
Hmm.
can you be unaffected by unwanted things? By being connected to the Lord, which gives that immunity, which gives that, yeah, immunity, right? Yeah. If you are strong, then your immunity will protect against all contaminations, right?
Yes.
So it's not that Krishna says in the 18th chapter, right? One should practice sannyas yoga not as inactivity, not doing something, but to do something, and but that doing something is completely dependent ourselves in Krishna.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Because my next question will be like if I am yeah telling it to someone means maybe the question will come that
Mm-hmm.
in Mahabharat why like with today's class Chitraketu was very submissive like even having cursed he is not feeling it at all it is a divine play and he is just taking it as a
Exactly.
God's mercy
Yeah.
so
Only
but
they
in
can qualify. Yeah. Only they can qualify to be used by the Lord in His service. Like for example, now we are doing a Bhagavad Sapta, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
Bhagavad Sapta. Yeah, who will be chosen to take part in services? Will you come? Will you call everyone in the town and say, "Hey, now you start doing"? We never know what are they going to do. Are they going to do for their own benefit? Are they going to spoil everything? No, you choose those who are favorable in your services, isn't it?
Mhm.
It is not that I have a need. I am saying that it is the need of an individual to be in offering a favor. So again, so when we talk about devotional service, it is that it's not your devotional service is not that what I will get. A devotional service again is what I can offer.
Mm.
What I will get, maybe some appreciation, I don't care. Maybe some piety, I don't care. What I am caring is only one thing, satisfaction of the person who is served.
Mhm.
Only that matters. Remaining doesn't matter. Yeah. most important thing is, yeah, just like you, when you're working in a company, are you working for your satisfaction, or are you mainly focused that your boss is satisfied or your company goals are satisfied?
Continuous.
Even your boss will say the same thing. Na? He says, hey, don't serve me, you serve the company goals.
Mhm. Yes. But in Mahabharata, yeah, just for from Chitraketu's perspective, I was feeling like being submissive and being uh, understanding uh, Lord's play in everything. Why in
Mm-hmm.
Mahabharata everyone took up like vows, like yeah, I will finish this, I will like Bhima and everything. So why didn't they be submissive? Like Kauravas were anyways demonic, so they didn't feel. But yeah, means they were Pandavas were standing against adharma, but
Yeah,
this
so
yeah, when to understand when it's Lord's play, when to be submissive, and yeah, when
yeah.
to act against it and be yeah like that.
Yeah. When we talk about Mahabharata, it has multi-angle um, learnings. Yeah. First thing is that Pandavas were devotees. Yeah. And of course, in this what do you call this dice game at the time when all this thing happened, yeah,
Mm,
everything was touched by something which is already an event of adharma has happened, right? And we know that for for Bhima, it became a personal thing at the same time as a Kshatriya. Hmm? Yeah, he has to protect his wife, hmm? Isn't it?
mm,
Yeah, it's
yes.
not like okay, someone can take my wife, that's fine. No, then what is your dharma? Isn't your dharma to protect your wife? Hmm?
Mm,
And yeah, being in a kuru and being yourself slave, yeah, then you are looking towards people who can protect. Yeah, there was this Drona was there, there was Bhishma there was Dhritarashtra, everyone were there. Yeah, they were not bound na, to word.
mhm,
Hmm? Hmm? They didn't lose, right, to Krida, Juda Krida. No, they were silent. So the question is coming again is, why did Bhima behave? Was it emotional? On one side, yes, emotional, and of course emotional. Even the Lord is emotional, right?
mhm,
Even Lord may say, "Don't worry. Anyway, you will come back to spiritual world one day. Huh? Take your time." No, Lord was preparing everything for this big battle that happens in Kurukshetra.
mm, okay.
Yeah. And yeah, when we go through the 18 days of the Kurukshetra war that has happened, each day how things have evolved. I mean, if you have time, I don't know if this is available, but mostly you can search and get it. There is Chaitanya Charan Prabhu who gave, I think, Mahabharata, 18 special characters on 18 days, something like that. Yeah. You may cover all most of the questions to understand why Karna like did like that, how to do all these things. Yeah, maybe that can help to understand what was done in a right, how to understand them in the right way. But again, coming back to your question, yeah, as a related one who is at home, and yeah, on one side you have to support dharma. You can't do whatever you want. That's why he was bound to his brothers. Yeah. Um, then he was also, yeah, when everything was done, when it came to this climax where then he took all the vow that he is not going to leave it there. A Kshatriya, right? He
Mhm.
is not a Brahmana.
Yes, 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 yes.
Hmm. If that spirit is not there, then there is no war, no battle.
Mm,
Hmm.
yeah.
And Krishna
Yes.
didn't stop there, right? Krishna
Mhm,
was present in a way, right? He he supplied all these long length saris to protect Draupadi. He was there. There was
mhm,
this question, right? Why didn't Krishna stop? or Yudhishthir when he was losing. But Yudhishthir himself didn't want,
Mhm.
right? So when so many things are there, when so many things are there, everything can be handled in a way. And this is what Kurukshetra war has the purpose for it. The battle is inevitable when people have selfish desires. Yeah, this is what happens. Yeah, you are selflessly serving, and the other person is selfishly serving, and both will come and fight. And eventually, this will happen. Why? Because selfish is going to occupy your territory more and more and more, right? When adharma is prevailing bigger and bigger and bigger, what happens to dharma? Becomes smaller and smaller, right? Your sphere of influence becomes smaller. At that time, the Lord will come and stand on your side, and then everything is taken care. Even if there is one person, we see when Duryodhan got a big battalion, all powerful from same Krishna. Eventually, who was powerful in the end? One Krishna or all his army?
Krishna.
Yeah. So, yeah, we take support of Krishna, and through that we practice our own devotional life. Yeah, again, when it comes to devotional life, we have to be sensible. Yeah, if we what is duty as a devotee, what is a duty as a disciple to a guru, what is a duty as a devotee of the Lord. Huh? So many things are these duties first come on priority.
Prabhuji, I'm still a bit confused with Chitraketu's perspective. Like, um, means in real world, if I'm in some like Vrindavan, for us to say,
Mhm.
and if I feel like something unjust happened with me, so should I speak against about it, or should I consider it Lord's mercy and just accept it?
Okay, then let's understand what is your understanding about Chitraketu then? So I think that is something. So what from this chapter, what do you understand about Chitraketu? That he
Yeah,
accepted simply and left everything, and no, he had a guru, right? A guru was guiding him what to do.
okay.
He was not independent to decide whatever he want and whatever as a king, right? He's a Kshatriya. Come on. As a Kshatriya, what should he do? Hmm? Yeah. As a king, he would have even ruled for longer time. But yeah, he had his gurus who came and told, hey, you are in such a lamentation. I think this is the right time to really take up the big step. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in one's life, if a guru is there, then we don't have to worry too much. Then all these questions, challenges won't bother too much because the guru is giving the clarity. Yes, you qualify yourself to go in the devotional path, full time, full fledged, full dedication. Yeah, engage.
Mm-hmm. Means Goddess Parvati cursing and
That we will see. That we will see from the purports what Prabhupada is saying, how to understand this. A
mm,
devotee doesn't really worry.
mm,
Hmm. Of course, he didn't do it intentionally, but yeah, still to show his glories of a devotee, even if he is in a asura form, yeah, we could see how. And even that, even Parvati felt, oh, why did I curse?
mm.
Yeah. And coming back to your question, what should we do in Vrindavan? Should we be silent or should we speak out? Yeah, definitely you should know whether what you, if you speak, can it help things to improve? Huh? By speaking, can you make things better? Huh? Sometimes, some people, everyone want to take, like law and order is in the hands of police, right? Or what do you call security? Or no? Does
Mhm.
everyone want to take the power and do?
But that is dharma, na? Means even if not speaking, I mean speaking, it won't change anything. But
Yeah,
if
and go and speak
if
to
we
authorities, no?
Yeah, means even authorities might means need to act. If I see something wrong, then I should speak against it, even if it won't make any change. Still, I should
Yeah,
because
you don't
yes.
have to see. The best thing is you should speak, but in the right order with right authority. If you are authority, you should speak. If you're not authority, you should engage authorities in it. Yeah,
Mhm.
in yeah. Otherwise, just like a militant taking a gun and a police taking a gun, there is no difference, right? Everyone can take a gun and shoot because
Mhm.
they think that is right or wrong according to their discrimination. They have not studied everything. So this is one thing. The second thing is whatever you feel not right, you can just speak up with your people through whom you can understand. Yeah, am I really understanding properly? And in this case, what is my dharma? What should I do?
Mhm.
If we skip guru, if we skip this authority, then what happens is we are taking a huge risk. We don't know what are we doing, right or wrong.
Mhm.
Hmm? And coming back to the same point, it's very important, as you said, it's very important to not stay silent, stay silent, to speak up. That's lacking in Kali Yuga. If someone has strength, because adharma is becoming more powerful, and then people who are in the right path, they are scared, isn't it? What happens today?
Yes, Prabhuji. Being humble, yeah.
Being
They,
humble or being soft or being, uh, sensitive.
yeah.
All these things are taken for granted, misused, and the dharma is going more down and down. Yeah, dharma is prevailing more and more. What should we do? Yeah, we should all be united. Yeah, all this. That's why you sometimes see all the Hindu parties or all the Sanatan mutts and ashrams trusts all come together. Why they feel, oh, they need to be united, otherwise there is a big bang that's going to fall on. And that's why they suddenly realize it's not so important whether you are Advaita or Advaita, whether Vishishtadvaita or so many classifications where we are fighting. Huh? No, we should all come together for a good cause. And sometime it works, all come together, and then other person who is mistreating will go away, will not do any more this animal killing in that particular time for that. But after some time again, what we will do, we again start fighting with our own logic and all these things. So these divisions are, yeah,
Mm.
causes one to be disunited and the strength. Whereas there is one metal, everyone is materially interested, no? Selfishly. So they are
Mhm.
always thinking how to overcome together. They can come together. Just like Asuras also in this churning of the Milky Ocean and Amrit came. At that time also the Asuras were always thinking, okay, when it comes, it's for me only, for me only. But for churning, everyone came together.
Yes, yes, yes. Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for joining. Yeah. If no other questions, we'll close here. पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।